This video is sponsored by War Thunder. Going back to World War II, Japan has been reluctant to arm itself in any significant way, and its air force is particularly outdated compared to modern military standards. As China and Russia unveil new generations of powerful fighter planes, the island nation is now scrambling to modernize its own warplanes, not wanting to leave the future of their people in the hands of foreign allies. For Japan, the obvious choice was to buy 5th-generation Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptors, the influential US fighter more than capable of facing its Russian and Chinese counterparts. But after the US banned exports of its groundbreaking fighter to protect its technology, Japan was left without options. Thus, in an unprecedented move, the Asian nation decided to develop its first 6th-generation warplane. The ambitious scheme has innumerable obstacles to overcome, but if it succeeds, it will not only deliver a state-of-the-art warplane like the world has never seen before, but it will also launch Japan right into the global armament industry. We at Dark Tech love to bring you stories of the world's most advanced and cutting-edge military vehicles throughout history. Now, you can take command of more than 2,000 tanks, planes, helicopters, and warships yourself by joining War Thunder, the most comprehensive online military vehicle combat game we've ever played. Click the link in the description below to experience your favorite modern warfare combat vehicles in incredible detail. Each is modeled down to their individual components, spanning over 100 years of technological developments from the 1920s to today. Immerse yourself in realistic graphics and glorious 4K resolution that guarantees the ultimate gameplay experience. We love the precise attention to historical accuracy, and we were immediately immersed in the intuitive and easy-to-control gameplay. Click on the link below to play for free and wage war from your PC, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and even from previous-gen consoles. War Thunder's combat vehicles pay a reverent homage to their real-life counterparts in a way that has to be experienced to be believed. Take advantage of War Thunder's exclusive reward to our viewers by clicking the link below to register as a new player and get a premium tank, aircraft, warship, and a 7-day account upgrade. We'll meet you on the battlefield, Commander. A rising threat. For many years, Japan's modest air force was considered more than enough to deter an attack from China or Russia. Recently, however, Japanese authorities have become seriously concerned that those militaries have far surpassed their own airborne capabilities. The concerning gap doesn't only relate to raw numbers, with China reportedly possessing 6 warplanes for every Japanese counterpart, but also to technology. China and Russia have been rapidly replacing their Cold War-era fighter planes with modern powerhouses like the multi-role J-10 and J-20 or the Su-57 Russian stealth fighter. To make matters worse, the two totalitarian superpowers have increasingly conducted probes around Japanese airspace, carefully measuring Japan's ability to respond to an airborne threat and seriously alarming Japanese defense agencies. As of today, most of Japan's combat aircraft capabilities are delivered by the American 4th-generation F-15 Eagle fighters, a capable but aging warplane that was initially deployed back in 1974 during the height of the Cold War. Japan also has a limited number of American 5th-generation F-35 Lightning II jets at their disposal. Still, they've expressed severe dissatisfaction with their armament capabilities, conventional takeoff, and ability to carry just 4 AIM-120 air-to-air missiles. In contrast, Russian Su-57 and Chinese J-20 stealth fighters can each carry 6 missiles, while the American F-22 Raptor can hold 8. With most of its air force entirely outclassed by the Chinese and Russian solutions, Japan turned to the United States to buy their rigorously developed warplanes, as they had done many times before. The Japanese immediately put their sights on the F-22 Raptor, a groundbreaking 5th-generation aircraft that would give them an advantage over their enemies. However, the US banned all exports of the warplane to protect its stealth technology and classified features. A domestic solution. In response to its inability to acquire F-22 Raptors, and in a bid to gain military manufacturing independence, Japan opted to create its own combat aircraft development program. From its inception in the early 2000s, the FX program had the objective to research what the sixth-generation combat aircraft would look like and what it would take to develop a fleet of warplanes with such characteristics. Japan knew that if it wanted to produce a fighter capable of facing current Chinese and Russian aircraft, but also providing protection against future iterations, it needed to skip an entire generation. Between December of 2009 and August of 2010, the Japanese Ministry of Defense performed a rigorous study of the current and future trends regarding combat aircraft technology. The research results helped the Japanese develop the concept for a sixth-generation fighter, codenamed I-3 fighter, for informed, intelligent, and instantaneous. The new fighter needed to have a series of specific features if it was to be considered a sixth-generation design, including advanced radar systems to counter the stealth technology of other fighters, receiving targeting information from other platforms like drones, fighters, and airborne early warning and control aircraft, the use of flyby optics to process data even faster, stealth technology, gallium nitride semiconductors to boost radar performance, and a new, more powerful engine. MITSUBISHI X2 SHINSHIN. To test, adjust, and further research the vast array of technical requirements needed to build its new generation of fighters, the Japanese Ministry of Defense created a one-of-a-kind demonstrator platform called the MITSUBISHI X2 SHINSHIN. This experimental prototype allows engineers to mount and adjust all the assets they're testing in a versatile vehicle that enables the team to incorporate new technologies in a straightforward manner. The X2 was a critical part of the FX program and was active from 2016 to 2018. The prototype was considered a success, and it is speculated that many of the systems showcased in the model will be part of the sixth-generation fighter. The twin-engine fixed-wing aircraft featured a sleek design with a longer nose section. It had a length of 14.17 meters, a wingspan of approximately 9.1 meters, and a height of 4.51 meters. In addition, it featured a crop delta wing configuration with cutting-edge root extension that allowed the aircraft to fly safely at a high angle of attack. Two outward vertical stabilizers on the trailing edges improved aerodynamics and stealth characteristics. The aircraft was a single-pilot fighter equipped with a retractable tricycle landing gear configuration and featured aerodynamic control surfaces and two rectangular intakes on either side of the cockpit. At the same time, the S-duct design further improved the aircraft's aerodynamic efficiency. The Mitsubishi FX Godzilla. Based on the research and feedback obtained from the X2 Shinshin, the Japanese Ministry of Defense began the early development of the Mitsubishi FX in 2020. The current concept describes a twin-engine stealth fighter designed for air superiority. It is also planned to be considerably larger than the F-22, which has earned it the nickname Godzilla. The increased dimensions will allow the aircraft to have extraordinarily long range and large ordnance capacity. In addition, Defense Minister Taro Kono has stated that they are focusing on developing unparalleled network capabilities and the ability to carry more missiles than the F-35. Several exterior designs have been proposed, adjusted, and tested via 3D modeling and specialized virtual simulation software, and the design prioritizes speed, agility, and stealth. The FX will replace conventional hydraulic systems with electric actuators to give the designers much more freedom when creating its body, without being limited by the internal hydraulic systems. Also, the aircraft will use state-of-the-art adhesive molding instead of conventional fasteners to achieve formidable integrity at a much lower weight. This will also reduce the man-hours needed to deploy the novel aircraft. Finally, the FX fighter will be powered by 2 FX-9 engines capable of providing over 20 tons of thrust. The engines incorporate three-dimensional thrust vector nozzles to allow the aircraft to achieve high maneuverability and improve stealth capabilities. Armament. An array of sensors to engage enemy stealth aircraft will be included, such as an active electronically scanned array radar, passive radio frequency sensor, and an infrared camera. These sensors will use gallium nitride to improve their performance against low radar cross-section targets. The FX will also be equipped with an RF self-defense system that will automatically disrupt radio waves instantly and globally to prevent being hit by incoming projectiles. Another feature will be a helmet-mounted display with a wide field of vision, binocular multicolor display, voice recognition, and 3D sound capabilities. Serpentine air ducts, an internal weapons bay, electromagnetic wave absorbers, and metamaterials will give the FX its stealth capabilities, drastically reducing its radar cross-section. Additionally, a plasma stealth antenna system will be used to deflect radio waves, and the technology will create a temporary plasma burst to deflect incoming radio waves. Apart from conventional weapons and warheads, the FX will be armed with a microwave cannon to disrupt incoming missiles. It will also be able to deploy combat support unmanned aircraft drones, capable of functioning as loyal wingmen to the fighter. The drones will help identify targets, fire munitions, and direct incoming missiles away. If the FX Godzilla delivers just a fraction of what it promises, it has the potential to give the Japanese armed forces a formidable warplane far superior to anything in the skies today. More impressively, it will launch Japan into the global weapons development market, cementing it as a military manufacturing superpower. Thank you for watching our video, and thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring it and extending an exclusive gift to our audience. Click on the link in the description below to claim your in-game rewards. New players receive a premium tank, aircraft, warship, and a 7-day account upgrade.